All right, so here is the Gen Tacoma with the camper, 22 feet, 4,000 pounds, Anderson weight distribution hitch. And you can see that we have some sag in the back due to the soft coil springs. So we're gonna put in these Timbrens, and just for reference, that jack right now is not touching that board, but I am gonna raise the camper up to put these in, and hopefully see if we can do it without taking any wheels off or anything. And then we will get to see the height. We'll measure it before and we'll measure it after we put the Timbrens in. All right, without the Timbrens, we are sitting at about 36 inches. This is center fender down to the ground. So now we will go ahead and install the Timbrens after we put down the jack. All right, so in the box, you're gonna have your two Timbren bushings and your two mounting brackets, which conveniently are labeled which side they go on. And these are spacers if you have a lift or you need a little more room between the Timbrens and the axle to push them down a little closer. Let's see, and of course your instructions with everything on how to put it together. Cool. All right, so I'm putting these together. There's two different style bolts. There's a 5, a 6, and a 7. And the big thing with these is that you use a different size bolt depending on which, how you're running your Timbren. So if you run a Timbren by itself, then you use 5, and then so on. Add one spacer, 6. If you're doing 2 spacers, that will be the bolt number 7. So to remove, there is the factory bump stop. So you have one bolt on the bottom on each side, and then let's go a little higher. There's one up top. So let's go ahead and take those off and get this started. All right, here is the Timbren setup with one spacer next to the factory bump stops. And as you can see, there's quite a difference. Even the bracket thickness, I mean, it's insanely different. Anyway, so let's go ahead and bolt these up and move to the other side. All right, and there is the final product of the Timbren installed. So now I'm gonna move over and install the second one, and then we will lower and measure the truck. All right, so Timbren's installed. Let's see. And as you can see, just over 37 inches now. So probably, it's hard to see it up here, but it's probably about an 1.25 inch gain. And then the truck looks much better, much more level. And then to show you what the Timbrens look like, there's the Timbren resting on the axle with the trailer connected. Of course, weight distribution hitch hooked up. But now I'm gonna go for a ride, and then I'll do an updated review video on how they ride. But so far, so good. All right, so as you can see, the truck is back in the driveway. Just finished towing the camper, rode good. But I did want a little more height in the rear. And I did measure everything, and there was probably about 2.5 inches of space in between the Timbren and the axle. Well, about 2.25. So what I did was I went ahead and added the second spacer, and it set a lot better and rode a lot better. But let me see if I can show you that. But that's how much space we have now, which Timbren recommends about 1 inch to 1.5 inches for driving and all that stuff. So final product on the TRD off-road, I did have to use 2 spacers on the Timbren. So rides good, does exactly what I want to do. Super easy install, probably about 20 minutes, and I didn't have to take any wheels off or any of that stuff. The other nice part about it was I had to take it back off again, obviously, to add the second spacer, change the bolt out to a longer bolt. And that only took 15 minutes after doing everything again. So super easy, no complaints, and we'll see how they hold up. I'm sure they do fine. I've had them on my truck for probably 4.5 years now, no issues. So thanks for watching.